Well, hello everyone. Hope you're having a good Christmas. Now it's New Year's Eve, that went quickly. What I want to do today is give you a quick wrap up of 2023. This has been my first year YouTubing. I started on January the 28th this year. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, a big learner curve. And the reason I started really was that I used to take a lot of photographs, and a few people I know some are housebound, some don't get out much these days. They thought we'd love to have gone on those walks with you, and my missus suggested that perhaps I should do a film, and record them and share them. So that's how it all started, and it's sort of grown from there. So, I started out with the intention of trying to do something a little bit differently, make a bit more about what I'd like to see, which is when you're walking through the landscape, what's around you. There's history, there's wildlife, there's geology, there's geography, there's so much, and I think some people just walk through the landscape and they don't see things like that. So that's the idea of what I aim to do with my videos. It's been like I said, a big learner curve. I can't wait to see what 2024 brings. I'll go on to that later. So anyway, I'll just pause there for now, and then what I'm going to do is take you through some of the highlights of the films I've made this year. Okay, so I'll do that now. So the Peak District, it wouldn't be the Peak District without the stunning scenery. It really is fantastic. Here's Allport Towers over on Allport Moor, which you can walk up to from the Derwent Reservoir. That is a classic piece, the largest landslip in the UK. Fantastic geology and scenery and views there over towards Kinder. This is Win Hill, looking over towards the Great Ridge and Kinder Scout again. Another classic walk and classic views. This is a salt cellar on Derwent Edge. You didn't really see this until you come around the corner, and again, fantastic views across the moors there over towards Kinder. This is Peter Stone in Crestbrookdale, the site of the last gibbeting of anybody in Derbyshire, a real good classic limestone dale. And this is a view of Edale with the freight train going for the middle on the Sheffield-Manchester line. This is Rushup Edge, gets better views of the Great Ridge in my opinion, another great walk. And this is Odin's Cave near Odin's Mine. Odin's Mine is at the foot of Mam Tor. It's a lead mine, all carved out by hand mainly, going back to Roman times if not before. This cave I believe is natural, but it's a really cool place, easy to get to off the old road. And you do get some classic views from here over towards Win Hill and the Great Ridge. Great place to stop. And this is a classic view of Jacob's Ladder down into Edale. And this is Robin Hood's Cave on Stanage. I really enjoyed this. Took a bit of finding, but I dropped down through a small hole, and then you come out to this panoramic view from Stanage Edge across the valley there. This is Kerbar Edge. So the Gritstone Edges are one of my favourites. Here you're looking down into Grindleford and towards Hathersage in the valley, and to your left over towards Baslow Edge and Chatsworth House. This is Mount Famine looking towards South Head on the edge of Kinder Scout there. And this is looking towards Bleaklow from Tintwistle Nor. The skies that day were absolutely stunning. This is Carver Peak, again not too far from where I live. And this is Hollins Cross in winter, just up on the Great Ridge there. And it wouldn't be a video about the Peak District if it wasn't for Mam Tor, the most visited spot in the Peak District. And this is the old road. Here you can see all the different layers of the old road. So I quite like my history in the area. One of the other amazing things within the Peak District is the ancient history. So it goes back a long way. This is Carl's Walk, which is a Iron Age hill fort. This is Arborough, one of the better known stone circles in Derbyshire. This goes back to Bronze Age and before, a site of worship is what they believe it is, and modern day pagans still worship here and leave offerings. Another one close by is Minninglow, which is a chambered tombs. There's also some Bronze Age barrel bowls. This is Seven Stones of Hordern on Hordern Edge. There's some classic views over towards Win Hill and Lewes Hill. And this is a stone circle on Froggatt Edge, another classic Bronze Age site. This is the Roman fort of Navio at Brough. Another highlight is the aircraft wrecks of the Peak District, of which there are about 82. This is the Airspeed Oxford crash site on Brown Knoll, just off the edge there, looking down towards South Head and Mount Famine. This was the L Lancaster wreck on Tintwistle Nor that came down in the Second World War. This is the P-38 Lightning wreck again on Tintwistle Nor, again just after the end of the Second World War. And this is the B24 Liberator off Mill Hill near the Pennine Way. And this is an Airspeed Oxford crash over on Axe Edge Moor on the eastern edge. Another highlight for me is the extreme weather you get in the Peak District, and here are some great examples. This is really coming down now. This is proper Derby serene. Look at that. Fucking hell. This is what it's all about. Sod your sunshine. This was the amazing floods in Castleton earlier in the year. This is when I had my first viral video, which went absolutely crazy. But you can see here peak salt water really raging, flooding the lower parts of the village. And this was out on Tintwistle Knoll. Another great aspect is obviously the wildlife and flora and fauna of the peaks. One of my favourites has to be the Highland cows. They're on Baslow Edge, Longstone Edge. They're just so tame and such wonderfully beautiful creatures. Again, we have the deer on the Longshore Estate and other areas. You have the insect life and bees, moths, etc. And the bird life. I love stone chats, they just seem to follow you wherever you walk. And obviously there's some very rare flowers that also exist in the Peak District. Another amazing thing is the traditions that carry on in the Peak District, one of which is the Castleton Golden Day. And of course the well dressings that are unique to the Peak District area that are carried out each year. Another one thing is the rants I go on, and here are a few classic examples. Here we fucking go. I tell you what, I've had enough, people. I've got to start fucking executing the cunts, mate, to tell you. Wankers, if I ever catch you fucking dropping litter out of your car, mate, it'll be the last thing you fucking do, I tell you. Take it fucking home with you. You bought the bastard out here, take it fucking back. Oh, fucking balls my fucking piss it does. I tell you, them sheep there could start eating that. Fucking arseholes, people. Don't come out here ruining the fucking place. One day, mate, I'm going to end up in the fucking nick for it, I tell you. Anyway, calm down now. I'm going to see if I can scrape this shit off my shoe now. Fucking beasts. Disgusting. Yeah, nothing worse, mate. That and cat food. Fuck's sake, mate. And guess what? Another McDonald's cup. How the friggin' hell does a McDonald's cup get here? You're talking a good 20 miles to McDonald's. Maybe not 20, maybe 15. Probably the nearest one is probably Macclesfield. It'll still bring the shit out here. Tell you what, mate. I have a catch hold of me. Get in that brook. Why, oh fucking why? People. So what is 2024 going to bring for the Peak District Viking? Well, hopefully more of the same. Better quality, hopefully, maybe a bit of angles. But one thing I do want to try is camping, so maybe later in the year I'm going to start doing some camping. I'm also potentially going to be doing some guided walks alongside other YouTubers. And finally, getting out to the White Peak more. I do tend to focus on the dark peaks, I do love the moorland, etc. So that's what it's going to bring. So let's see what it holds. And so all I want to do now is just wish you all a very, very happy New Year.